Thing here is set. I got chat going. All right, we're good. So the first commander deck we're going to take a look at here is Maestro's Massacre. Just so you are aware, we are streaming this live on YouTube. So if you like to talk about Magic the Gathering and you are a respectful person and you would like to be amongst respectful people, then you may subscribe to this channel and just join the conversation. We have a Discord link in the description below, and you are more than welcome to join us, just so you are aware. Okay, so we have this Maestro's Massacre commander deck over here. First of all, when I look at this, oh, dude, they recently just updated this, so now all the cards are showing for real now, which is actually really cool. These cards used to be whited out. It says tabletop 204.33, so this deck right now costs in paper $204.33, which I would imagine would change at some point in the future because Anhelo is $20 right now. So Anhelo reads: the first instant or sorcery spell you cast each turn has casualty 2, which basically means that you can sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater to copy an instant or sorcery spell you cast. So that seems really powerful. And we did a review for some commanders in the past, and people had a lot to say. We were doing a ranking, a tier list, and people were saying Anhelo was S tier. I graded him as A tier, but I understand people's perspective. Yeah, I think that's 100. I think you're 100% right, Cole. Literally added $100 to this deck list, which is pretty intense. So we're just gonna go down and take a look at some of the cards that are inside here and just figure out like what may be the motive behind these cards. We have a Blood-Soaked Champion. So Blood-Soaked Champion is a 2/1 that you can pay 2 mana for to bring it back from the graveyard to the battlefield. Blood-Soaked Champion, I think, is a really good card inside the deck, and I think that anybody would have wanted to play this anyway, just because it's a creature you can get back that you can sacrifice it to Anhelo, and only costs 1 mana to get into play originally. So I think that this is a really solid include right here. We have a Dogged Detective. Enters the battlefield, Surveil 2. Costs 2 mana, it's a 2/1. Whenever an opponent draws a second card each turn, you may return... What? From your graveyard to your hand? Okay. That's a good card. That's a really good card. So that says Surveil 2. So Surveil basically means that whenever... you're allowed to look at the top 2 cards of your library. If you want them, you can keep them there. If not, you can just put them into your graveyard. So I don't know if this deck has any graveyard synergies, but I think that would be pretty cool. Because of the Surveil here, I'm already imagining that you play a Detective, Surveil 2, put 2 just, you know, Jingataxis in the graveyard, for example, cast a reanimation spell, sack the Dodge Detective, and then for 1 reanimation spell, you can reanimate 2 bomb creatures. That's probably how I'm going to build this deck, honestly. Next card we have over here is Goblin Electromancer. This says instant sorcery spells cost 1 less to cast. Okay, so it's decent. It's a good card. We have a Sinister Concierge. Whenever this goes away, you may exile it and put 3 time counters on it. If you do, exile up to 1 target creature and put 3 time counters on it. Each card exiled this way that doesn't have suspend gave suspend. Okay, so you just get... One second, let me just make sure. So you get to remove a creature with this creature. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's a decent card. I mean, for 2 mana on a wizard, I would put this inside the wizard tribal. Yo, what's good, Clay? Yo, what's good, dude? But I would definitely play this inside my Wizard Tribal Commander deck. That's a good card. Skyclave, Shade. Yo, this deck is actually pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. They have a lot of creatures that you can reuse over and over again. We have a Skyclave Shade. This one you're allowed to replay after you put a land onto the battlefield. You're generally gonna be playing lands. So I think that works out really well. And for 2 mana, a 3/1. I mean, early on in the game, like I can just hit people for 3 damage over and over again. I think 3 is a pretty good amount of power. So, the Spellbinding Soprano. Okay. Whenever this creature attacks instant or sorcery spells you cast this turn cost 1 less to cast. It has Encore, which is automatically what I was thinking about doing with the card. Encore means you exile it, you create as many copies as you have opponents, and they attack. So essentially, if you have 3 opponents, spells, just spells in general, you cast this turn cost 1 less to cast. Wow. You know, I would really enjoy putting this card into, I don't know if you guys ever played Brutaclad or ever heard of Brutaclad before, but Brutaclad would be awesome with that card right there, because Brutaclad plays a ton of copying spells that cost a ton of mana, but just having a ton of these in Brutaclad would be awesome. We have Squee. It's good. You may cast Squee from your graveyard or from exile. 3 mana, 2/1. Yo, I'm gonna be really honest with I think they released on the 29th of this month, Clay. But they did a really good job building the creature base inside this deck. We have the Woe Strider over here. When it enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 white goat. Sacrifice a creature, scry 1. You can reuse this creature. I think that's the big theme with this deck right now. This deck only has 14 creatures inside of it, but you can reuse this. You can reuse this. You could reuse that. You could reuse that. So you're getting a lot out of the creatures that you have, which is pretty cool. So this is a new commander. Oh, this is the one where you pay 1 mana to make 3 mana. And then when it goes away, you return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. I would probably take this card out of the deck. We have Kes Dissident Mage. Oh, yo, Kes is a good card. During each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. If you cast... Yeah, that's just great. The Kindling Phoenix is another card you can reuse over and over again. Cyrix, Carrier of the Flame. Oh, this is a new card. Oh, this is a legendary creature. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature card left your graveyard this turn, target Phoenix you control. This is a Phoenix Tribal Commander. Oh, dude. I finally have something to do with my Phoenixes. Whenever another Phoenix you control dies, you may cast from the... Does it have haste? It does. Oh, Phoenix Tribal. That's interesting. Parnice, the Subtle Brush. Oh, this is the one that forces people to take damage. It's a good card. And then Puppeteer Click. This is what I was talking about. It says enters the battlefield, put target creature from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield. I mean, it does have persist. So essentially you'd be able to sack it to Anhelo to copy a spell and then get it back again. I think it's a good include. For 5 mana, I don't know. I think back in the day, people played a lot more cards that were much more like bombs. I think just looking at it and thinking that you're going to get a powerful creature from this, people's mana value or mana cost is generally really low. So I find that taking stuff from people's graveyards isn't as efficient as it once was. Like when I played Magic like 5 years ago, it's changed. So we have a Ponder, $2.51. It's a nice card over here. So I'm just going to go through these. If we see a spell that's new, it says Casualty 1. Power, oh, sacrifice a creature with power 1 or greater to do that. That's pretty cool. So it's varying, I suppose. A Damnable Pact, Dread Summons. I always take this card out of my commander decks. I never really play this card. We have Feed the Swarm, Bedevil. This is what? What is that? Body count. Draw a card for each creature that died under your control this turn. Spectacle. If an opponent lost life this turn, you can pay 1 black mana for it. Ooh, that's... Yo, that's a good card, guys. That goes like in every single... At instant speed? Yeah, that goes like in every... For some reason, I thought that said Foretell. That would be pretty cool if I had that. If it had that ability with Foretell. What's good, Merrick? Sounds good, buddy. Frantic Search, Maestro's Charm. Oh, I gotta get a hold of all these charms to put inside the my Gigantha commander deck. Okay, Waste Management. Exile up to 2 cards from a single graveyard. If the spell was kicked, create tokens. I mean, if you need creatures to sack and you get to exile cards from a graveyard, I guess I probably wouldn't play that. We have an Audacious Swap. The owner of target non-enchantment permanent shuffles it into their library, then exiles top card of the library. If it's a land card, put it into the battlefield. Otherwise, they may cast it without paying its mana cost. So it's like it's Chaos Warp. That's pretty cool. That's actually really good that they kind of reprinted Chaos Warp. Okay, Drawn from Dreams. We have Make an Example. Each opponent separates the creatures they control into 2 piles. For each opponent, you choose one of their piles. Each opponent sacrifices the creature in their chosen pile. So it's like Fact or Fiction for creatures at sorcerer speed. Sever the Bloodline. I'm a huge fan of flashbacking exiling spells. I think exiling commander is just exiling. Getting your creatures exiled stinks. So we have, oh, this card. I'll take this card out of the deck immediately. I mean, maybe you can casualty this to get 4 2/2s to then potentially just have a ton of creatures to... Maybe that's a way you can build the commander deck, actually. Maybe you can... I have a ton of... There's a ton of spells that you can cast to then create tokens. But what if the entire deck was filled with sorcery or instant speed spells that made creature tokens that you sack to then... You sack a creature, 1 creature, mind you, to cast a creature token spell to then make like 6 tokens, and then you can use 1, you keep 5, and just keep amassing tokens that way. Just a thought. I legitimately may build the deck that way. We have Flawless Forgery. Okay. You can exile and then cast a spell from an opponent's graveyard. Mystic Confluence, great card. Cinder Split's Judgment, that's a good card. This is $8 right here. It says choose 3. Okay. Creature gets -3/-3. Goad each creature target player controls. Have I ever seen a sorcery speed spell that forces your opponents to goad? I don't know. Reign of the Pit. That card's alright. River's Rebuke. This card wins games. Dude, River's Rebuke is a really nice card. We have Xander's Pact. Each opponent exiles the top card of the library. You may cast spells from among those cards this turn. Oh, this turn. Okay, so you just pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying... Okay. That's not bad, actually. I thought you had to pay your own mana to do that. But see, this is what I was talking about right here. This literally says, create a 5/5 blue and red elemental creature token with flying. Like, you literally could just pay 7 mana and get 10 power, essentially, because you create 2. And then if you play the enchantments that automatically copy your spells, then you pay 7 mana and get 15 power with flying on the board. Which just seems, and then you can protect them with counter spells. It just seems so good. More, look, Army of the Damned, create 13. Oh, I'm just gonna casually make 26 2/2 zombies. If I copy that. Ooh, this is a great commander. I'm gonna tell everyone right now, if you want to buy a commander deck, I'm gonna tell you, if you are an experienced Magic the Gathering player, that sounds good, Clay. Clay, we may go over that commander deck today. But I was gonna say, like, if you're someone who's brand new to Magic the Gathering, I don't know if this commander deck, I would suggest that you play this one because it seems kind of there's a lot of parts to it, so it's not straightforward and simple. But if you're someone who, I mean, been playing the game for a while, if you got Magic the Gathering tattoos on your arm, yeah, you probably want to play this commander deck. This commander deck seems incredibly fun, and just because of the way Anhelo plays, there's so many different ways to play around that or to build around that, which is just allows you to be really creative. I think this is just a great card. Totally, I'm telling you guys right now, this is the first one that I'm gonna be commander deck I'm buying. So we have Soul Ring, that Clone Legion, Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time is a good card. Mirror Signet. Okay, so see, here we go. If you would copy a spell one or more times, instead of copy it that many times, plus an additional time. See, so you're playing cards that create more copies if you copy, which is good. We have Determined Iteration. At the beginning of combat on your turn, populate. Oh, dude, this is total. For 2 mana, the tokens created this way gains haste, sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Ooh, this is totally play. This is Brutaclad right here. We have Cryptic Pursuit. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, manifest the top card of your library. Whenever face down creature you control dies, exile it. I don't know if I would play that. I mean, it gives you 2/2s. Oh, Double Vision, they have it inside here. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell, copy it. Yeah, that's perfect. Rite of the Raging Storm. I mean, this gives you a creature to sack. It forces your opponents to attack each other with those tokens. I would probably just take this card out of the deck and put it into another deck. We have Extravagant Replication. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of another target non-land permanent you control. Guys, this is the best card in the deck. This is the best card in the deck. I mean, other than the commander, this card is amazing. It's not even a legendary enchantment, so I can make a of another target. I was gonna say, I'll just make a copy of this. I would still just make a copy of this. I'll find a way. That's a great card. Okay. So if I could give this deck a rating out of 10, I would give this. Wow, I think this deck out of the box is fire. I think for precons, I would give this deck an 8 out of 10. I'd say that the deck, and mind you, I'm rarely going to give things 9s or 10s, but I think that the way that the deck flows, it already has ways to make copies. This card is actually amazing. I would rate this an 8 out of 10. The artifacts, the mana base look pretty good. It has a ton of creatures that you can reuse over and over again. You totally, if you're looking to purchase a commander deck, I would totally suggest, if you like these colors, picking up this commander deck. This commander deck is phenomenal. Literally phenomenal. What a great deck. Okay, so the next commander deck that we have over here is Bedecked Brokers. So the commander for this deck is Perrie, the Pulverizer. says whenever Perrie enters the battlefield, put a shield counter on target creature, which is essentially totem armor. And then whenever this creature attacks, target creature you control gains trample and gets +X/+X until the end of turn, where X is the number of different kinds of counters among permanents you control. You know, the first time I saw this commander, the only thing I think of when you're attacking with one creature is Maze of Ith. Maze of Ith is a land that will just take a creature, one creature out of combat. So, if for this deck to be successful, I'm going to tell people right now, like, if you have cards in your own collection to add into this, find lands that destroy lands. Find ways to give hexproof, because literally one land will just completely eliminate this commander right here. Just completely take him out of it. And I've seen so many games of Commander where people are just like, I play Maze of Ith. And then they sit there and then they can just kind of do whatever they want. Or they just, nobody's going to attack them because they notice they're just going to untap or remove your attacking creature. So, especially in this deck, you need to play around a Maze of Ith. Maze of Ith is a real thing. And ways to remove, I know that there's an artifact that acts like Maze of Ith as well. So just, you have to think about Maze of Ith. Okay, so the first card we have here. First of all, this is $111.37. This one was $204.33. So clearly there's a wide gap here. We have an Aven Courier, which says whenever it attacks, choose a counter on a permanent you control. Put a counter of that kind on target permanent you control if it doesn't have a counter of that kind on it. Okay. Nice way to make copies of your counters. I think it's a decent card. For 2 mana, it's flyer. I mean, maybe I would have enjoyed this card better if it would cost 3 mana. Then it said just when it enters the battlefield, create a permanent. I think that would be pretty cool. We have a Devoted Druid. Well, I'm going to tell everyone right now, there's a card called, yo, chat. There's a card. What's good, Paul? What's good? Broker's deck is really short on color fixing, artifacts, and ramp. Not great for a 3-color deck. This one, I mean, yeah, you'd have to literally, I haven't checked out the ramp yet, but like I would imagine you'd have to figure out something. I mean, you're in Simic. I mean, Simic, or you have green there, so it's fairly cheap to fix the mana base, I would imagine. But what's good, Paul? But I was gonna say, there's a card that goes infinite with this card right here. Does anybody in chat know what that card is? And if you do, leave it here so when people on YouTube are watching this, they know what card it is. But there's a card that goes infinite with this. And I would imagine that this is 849, dude. Excuse me, just spit everywhere. This is 849, dude. This is a great card. Basically what happens is you put a -1/-1 counter on this creature. The other creature removes -1/-1 counters, and that allows you to untap Devoted Druid, which then allows you to... Sounds good, Paul. I'm glad you're doing well. But you can basically Swift reconfiguration. There are 100 cards that go infinite with Devoted Druid. Devoted Druid is an infinite combo. Alright. When you guys know what card that is, I have the card in a binder somewhere. I could probably go grab it, but let's just get this done, and then at the end of the video, we may go over that. But just know there's infinite combo potential in this deck. We have Grateful Apparition. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. Yeah, I mean, if they reprinted this with the same ability that this had, I think that would be good. But I don't... This only really works well if you're looking to put +1/+1 counters on creatures. 15 combos that go with it. But dude, there's a I'll think about it. Maybe it's in the deck. We have a Luminarch Aspirant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Okay. That's decent. Scavenging Ooze, I mean, you're playing green. Why not? Oh, that is true. If you guys can type in the chat the names of these cards, I think YouTube would appreciate it. Because I don't know if you guys see your text popping up all big. But we have Scavenging Ooze, just a classic card. Oh, they reprinted the Hydra. This card was expensive, dude. Yeah, this is a good card. It says, you can remove a counter from it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. A Skyship Plunderer. I've never seen this card in my life. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player for each kind of counter on target permanent. So this is just proliferate. Thumbing Bird, speaking of proliferate. Okay. Wall of Roots. Put a -1 counter, Wall of Roots. Okay. You can tap it. You essentially get a mana. Okay. Whenever another permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, investigate. Okay. I mean, that's good card draw, I would imagine. I mean, maybe in mono white, this is a good card. But I think we're already playing blue here. So I don't know if this really matters. But it's still a cool card. What is this? At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a feather counter on target creature. If you do, that creature is a 3/1 and has flying as long as it has a feather counter on it. Okay. I mean, I never heard of feather counters before. The Crystalline Giant. Oh, this just gains counters, like every counter. Wait a minute. And then Perrie says it gets plus X, where X is the number of different kinds of counters. Ooh, the Giant is a bomb inside this deck. That's pretty cool. Because that gets you all the counters, essentially. Yeah, I would protect this card with the counter spell or something. And then we have an Evolution Stage, more proliferating. Actually, I built my sister this commander deck right here, actually. Genera, Asura of War. This is my sister's commander. We have Park Heights Maverick. Dethrone, which I think gives counters to creature. Dethrone in green. I would imagine we're going to see a lot of Dethrone inside this set. So it can't be blocked. More dealing damage and proliferating. I don't know if... Chat, what do you guys think about the whole... Like, they're putting a lot of these cards that say you deal damage and then you proliferate. You make... What do you guys think about that? Because everything seems to be like this. This makes or buffs counters when it deals damage. Like, that buffs counters and deals damage. That buffs counters and deals damage. There's this one as well. I don't know if, I mean, you want to be attacking, but I guess if we think about it, you know, if we start proliferating shield counters, I guess my question is like, okay, if a creature that has a shield, what if a creature has 2 shield counters on it and the creature's destroyed? Do both shield counters go away? Or does only one? That's the question of the moment. Next card we have here is Rishkar Pima Renegade. Enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Okay. And then each creature you control with a counter on it. Ooh. That's a pretty good card in this deck. Yo, these guys really know what they're doing when they make these commander decks. Vorel, okay. For each counter on target artifact or creature you control, put another one of those. I thought this said double permanents. I thought this doubled counters. Are there multiple versions of this card? I'm pretty sure I've seen a version of this card and it said for each counter, double those counters. But I may be wrong, but I think I'm not. Next card we have here is Wingspan Mentor. Okay, flying counters. Whoa, what is this? Enters the battlefield with your choice of a +1 first strike or vigilance counter. Whenever a non-token creature you control enters the battlefield, if it has counters on it, put the same number of counters on that creature. Yo. That's a fun commander. That's a fun commander. Okay. Fathom Mage. Whenever a creature... Oh, this just draws you cards whenever a counter is put on the Fathom Mage. This actually works incredibly well with all the proliferate inside this deck. I'm a big fan of the Fathom Mage. Forgotten Ancient, I mean... this card's so good. Whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a counter on Forgotten Ancient, and then you can just move those counters around as you please. We have Kroos, the Defense Contractor. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a shield counter target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you put one or more counters on a creature you don't control, tap that creature and goad it. It gains trample until you... Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. We have a Slippery... Oh, okay. So they put the hexproof card inside here. They reprinted this. This is a great card. Guys, I'm going to tell you all right now, like, because this card got reprinted, this Bogbonder, like, if you want to invest in a card, if this card drops to maybe like $1 or $2, I would highly suggest spending $5 on 5 copies of this card. If it goes to $1 or $1.50, I would buy 3 or 4 copies. This card is fantastic. We have a Wicker Bow Elder. This is... It's a thing. I mean, you pay 1 green mana to remove a counter from it. And with all the proliferate inside this deck, I could see this kind of being a... I could see people just wiping the board, essentially, of enchantments and artifacts with this card, actually. Okay. Avenging Huntbonder, put a double strike counter on target attacking creature. It's alright. Roalesque, okay. Enters the battlefield, put 2 counters on a target creature you control, and then this has proliferate twice when it dies. You don't want to put shield counters on that guy. I'm curious how they're going to allow players to keep track of the different counters. Maybe one of those keyword punch-outs like an Ikoria. You would have to hope, man. You would have to hope. And there's a lot of counters too. I would just like write it down or something. Because it seems like they got a lot going on inside this deck. It's a good point. When Shield Broker enters the battlefield, put a shield counter on target non-commander creature you don't control. You gain... Oh! Oh, this is a fantastic card, guys. This is my favorite card in the entire deck. Guys, this is my favorite card in the entire deck. I haven't even seen the rest of the deck yet. This card is so mean. I need that card. I would play that in Prime Speaker Vanifar. We have Skyboon Evangelist. Enters the battlefield. Support 6. Support 6. I'm pretty sure support 6 means you put 6... Do you put 1 +1/+1 counter on 6 creatures or 6 counters on 1 creature? Whenever a creature with a counter on it attacks one of your opponents... Whenever a creature with a counter attacks one of your opponents, that creature gains flying until the end of turn. Okay. I mean, there's ways to give flying to creatures without forcing them to have counters. A Bribe Taker, Trample, 6 mana, 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, for each counter amount on permanents you control, you may put your choice of a +1/+1 counter or a counter of that kind on Bribe Taker. Give this thing haste. That's a good card, man. And Johnny Unyielding. Okay, I mean, this is alright, Planeswalker. I would immediately take that card out of the deck, though. Declaration in Stone. Bant Charm. Broker's Charm. This is a great charm. Destroy target enchantment, draw 2 cards. Just deal straight damage to your opponent. Especially after you get the buff from Perrie. That combos pretty well with that charm right there. Like, this card can end a game. This card's gonna end games. Or at least knock people out of the game. We have Contractual Safeguard. If you cast a spell during your main phase, put a shield counter on a creature you control. Choose a kind of counter on a creature you control. Put a counter of that kind on each other creature you control. Wow. That's a great card. Okay, so this is either gonna give your entire, wow, what a great card. That could give your entire team trample, that could give your entire team hexproof, that could give your entire team indestructible, that could give your entire team everything. That is a Magic the Gathering card, people. That's a great card right there. 3 mana, mono white. That's a bomb right there. Exotic Pets. What is this? Create 2 1/1 blue fish creature tokens. This creature can't be blocked. Then, wait, what? Then for each counter among creatures you control, put a counter of that kind on either of those tokens. Okay. Okay. I'd play that in Temet Vizier of something. I forget what it's called. I'd play that in Temet. Generous Gift. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Storm of Forms. When you cast a spell, copy it for each... Oh, really? Okay. When you cast it, copy it for each kind of counter among permanents you control. You may choose new targets for the copies. Okay. So basically... instant speed, 4 mana. Among... Oh, return target non-land permanent. Oh, I was gonna say, I thought it said target permanent. I was like, oh, this card is just... That would be mean. We have Tezzeret's Gambit, okay. Brokers, Confluence. All the Confluences are getting printed into each of these commander decks. Target creature phases out. That's pretty cool. You may choose the same mode more than once. Okay. Counter target activated or triggered ability. Okay. Proliferate. More of that. Damning Verdict. Destroy all creatures with no counters on them. Oh, dude. Dude, that's a GG. For 5 mana, that card right there is going to win. This is the reason why this deck is going to win. I'm telling you, I know that this commander deck up here, this Grixis one, definitely seems to be incredibly strong with the way that it works. But just in a pre-constructed environment, like when people are playing games, I could totally see this card ending. This card's going to end games. That's a GG card right there. That's just a one-sided board wipe. And with the way that this deck deals damage to your commander, I mean, come on. That's a great card. Urban Evolution. Planar Outburst. Okay. Rich Card's Expertise. Nice. It's a decent card draw. I mean, even though we're in blue. So. Overflowing Chalice. Soul Ring. Arcane Signet. Felwar Stone. There's a lot of artifacts. You know, I think that they would just put like instant or sorcery spells to ramp instead of having so many artifacts. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a charge counter on Gavel of the Righteous. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on Gavel of the Righteous. As long as Gavel has 4 or more counters on it, equip creature has double strike. Equip, pay 3, or remove a counter. Yo, hold up. Is that equip? Is this equip instant speed, or is it not instant speed? That's the question. We have Power Conduit. Remove a counter from a permanent you control. Oh, okay. I think this card goes... I don't think it goes infinite, but there's a card like a Darksteel Reactor or something that just wins the game. Whenever, ooh, dude, you should probably play a Darksteel Reactor inside this deck. That could be a cool, like, little, like a, what would you call that? Like a secondary win condition because of all the proliferate inside the deck. Dude, I would just take this deck and just make a Traxa the commander, and then just, dude, I might end up doing that. Just taking this deck, taking my Atraxa, making that the commander of this deck, honestly. I'm gonna tell you, that's 100% what I'm doing. I'm taking my Atraxa deck and just buying this and making Atraxa the commander of this, and then I can just add black. We have Agent's Toolkit. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it, a flying counter, and a death touch counter. And a shield counter. Is this a creature or like? Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you may move a counter from Agent's Toolkit onto that creature. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty decent card. Commander Sphere, Midnight Clock, Oblivion Stone. Ooh. Dude, Oblivion Stone? Look at this. This is what I'm thinking. Put a fate counter on target permanent. Because this says you sacrifice Oblivion Stone, you need Sun Titan inside this deck. This says destroy each non-land permanent without a fate counter on it, then remove all fate counters from all permanents. Oh, it says to remove all fate counters. Because you could combo this with that. You could just cast this, give everything fate counters, tap that. Dude, this deck has some combos that are literally just gonna wipe everybody else's board and keep your board safe. And that's the reason why I think this deck is gonna win a lot of games. Oblivion Stone and that card, really good. Oracle's Vault. Immediately take this card out of the deck. I have no idea why this card's inside the deck. Oh, I'll put a brick counter. Because it has brick counters? Oh, I don't know. Okay, that's a card. Whenever you draw a card, you may put a hoofprint counter on hoofprints of the stag. I am a big fan of this card. I think that this card right here is to make a 4/4 with flying. I think is pretty good. I don't think you're drawing enough cards to make it relevant, but you are proliferating a lot, so I guess it's just a different way of getting up there. Together Forever, Family's Favor. Whenever you attack, put a shield counter on target attacking creature until the end of turn. It gains. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to player, remove a shield counter from it. If you do, draw a card. Okay. That's pretty cool for 3 mana. I mean, just a nice way to draw cards and to protect your creatures. Primal Empathy. Oh, fantastic card. Beginning of your upkeep, draw a card. Okay. Whenever a permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on target creature. Ooh. At instant speed, you can pay 5 mana, move any number of counters from target permanent you control to another target permanent you control. Dude. Dude, the enchantment right here, the Resourceful Defense, and then the enchantment right here where it says, where is it? Extravagant Replication. Bombs. I'm still thinking about that Extravagant. I still think this card's amazing. But, dude, that's a bomb card right there. That's a fantastic card. Yeah, so this is my new Atraxa deck, everybody. I hope you like my new Atraxa deck. If I would give this deck a rating out of 10, you know, I think that who's the person that's gonna buy this deck? I think that anyone, you know, that plays the game, that has a lot of experience, can play this deck and can play it well. I would definitely gear this deck more towards the people who are new to the game. Although there are going to be a lot of counters, and keeping track of all the counters and things that are going on may seem... But I'm also, like, in my mind imagining a new player sitting down playing with the deck, and I could just see them just, like, proliferating and it just being satisfying, you know? Like, oh, I get another counter. All of these get counters, and then it just... I could just imagine someone having fun. This deck definitely seems fun. everybody is aware that if you just play Maze of Ith, like just tap Maze of Ith, it just completely eliminates Perrie essentially. And so I suppose you just keep that in mind. Play around. You have to play around a way to remove lands inside this deck, because if you don't, if somebody plays a Maze of Ith, you lose. And that's that. So I would give this deck a solid 7 out of 10. I think it's a good deck. I think that it definitely has potential to be strong. And those are those 2 commander decks. Yo, does anybody know if they released the other ones yet? Or maybe I should just go over these 2 just for today. I will say, if you're new to the stream and you're watching the stream right now, just be aware that we go live on Monday, generally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you would like, you may subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also be aware that we have a Discord server where we all work together to build commander decks and talk about Magic, and just be kind people to each other, I think is what's most important. So we do have plans to do some fun things in the future, but we have to get a bigger community going in order for a lot of these things to happen. So, but we'll just take it as it goes, you know. So generally when we do live streams, we have like one theme. So we went over these commander decks, and now that's done. But we also, like I was talking about the Discord before, we do go over deck lists inside the Discord. People will upload their deck lists to the Discord and then review them on live stream in front of everybody. And we just kind of work together to help people to build commander decks. So the commander deck that we're going to be going over is for Clayboy 1991. I actually met Clayboy via one of these advertisements right here on Tapped Out, and I messaged him on his deck that he had uploaded. This is not the deck in that video, I'm pretty sure, but this is definitely one that we're going to go over. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this link and I'm going to paste it in the description of this video right now. So if you guys want to take a look at the deck list, what is this commander? Stickfingers Decklist. You know, you're more than welcome to look at the deck list. You good, Clay? It's no big deal, man. It's no big deal. You said you were winning with this deck anyway, so it's gotta be good, right? So this is old Stickfingers. If I'm being completely honest with you, I've never seen this before. Whenever you cast a spell, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard, and then put the rest of them on the bottom of your library in a random order. Wait, what? Reveal from your top of your library to your X cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way from your graveyard. Then the rest. Okay. Okay. All right. So essentially, you just put all your creatures into your graveyard, and then old Stickfingers gets buffed equal to those things. So when I look at this, first of all, this deck costs $60.53 for people who may want to build this in the future. Just be aware that it's only $60.53. Let me drink some tea. 1 second. Doing a lot of talking right now. So first thing I wanna do. There's no link in the description for the Discord. Oh, dude, you are 100% right. Let me go ahead and add that really quickly. But when we're looking at this commander right here, the first thing I want to take a look at, or the first thing I think about, is reanimation. You're putting creatures into your graveyard, and I would imagine if you're just dumping stuff into your graveyard like that, being able to reanimate creatures or cheat their mana cost is always a powerful way to play the game. So once I'm done uploading the Discord information here, we will then Check to see how many reanimation spells Clay put in the commander deck. And then we will politely judge. I'm going to post the Discord link. So I just put it in the chat, but I'm also going to put it in the description as well. So Discord link, and then this. Yo, Paul, thank you for asking, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Discord, dude. We're all chilling. Okay, so back to the deck. So Stickfingers. Okay, so we're looking over here. Sorcery, spinning wheel kick. Yo, Clay, if you're there, dude, like, what is the game plan for this deck? Like, what does this deck want to do? At least what? Just so I have an idea of what you were thinking. Tapping out the window. Didn't think about reanimation. Okay. Tapping out. So this is just a lot of mill. Return target card from the graveyard to your hand. Okay. Top 7 cards. This is like explosive vegetation, essentially. Cultivate. Predator's Hour. Oh, okay. That's a good card. Until the end of turn, creatures you control gain menace. Okay. So buff Stickfingers, then protect him when he is at 20/30 power. I'm gonna ask you, when you played the game that you were playing, did he get to 20 or 30 power? You do have 32 creatures inside the deck, so I would imagine that's definitely possible. You know, and also, just so you know, ooh, here's a rules question. Clay, just so you know, there are creatures that can, let me see something. Isn't there cards called modal, like MDFCs? So they're lands that are also creatures. Oh, yeah, Living Death would be fantastic. So, do MDFCs count as creatures in the graveyard, or do they count as lands? That's the question. I don't know the answer to that question, and I'm hoping somebody does. So look, he was a 24/24. Ooh, Clay, that's fun, dude. So we pulled up the Living Death over here, Clay, so you can see, you know, generally, you can get a copy of Living Death for $5.99. You know, what I like to do to save money is I like to click on these, and I always buy the Chinese or Japanese copy of the cards. I know what the card does, so it's just a nice way to save money. Oh, it's actually more expensive, I think. Yeah, maybe just buy the English copy for this version. But like, clearly there's, you know, a ton of versions of this card. I would just click on them and then change the language. See, Japanese is still $5, $5.40, $5.37. But Living Death basically exiles a creature's cards from everybody's graveyards or from the battlefield, or sacrifice the creatures from the battlefield, and then all creatures from the graveyard go onto the battlefield, which could certainly just like end the game. So that's definitely a card that you would like to consider that could end the game. And Command the Dreadhorde over here as well, which is, thank you, Paul, for making the suggestion. If we take a look at this, Command the Dreadhorde, choose any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers in graveyards. Command the Dreadhorde deals damage equal to the total number of converted mana cost of those cards. 64 cents. You know, Card Kingdom probably has this card for 25 cents. You know, in Japanese, bro, in Japanese, this is 15 cents, dude. This is a great card. For 15 cents, dude. Japanese. I mean, if you're not into the whole, if you like them in English, get them in English, but 15 cents, you can't really go wrong with that. That card can win you a game. So we're looking at that. I didn't see one reanimation spell. So I think if you wanted to go into the reanimation route, you can. You don't have to. I'm gonna take a look at your creatures, see if there's anything like worth reanimating. But then that would just, because this is the thing. On a side note, like we're looking at this commander deck, right? When I played at a game store in New Jersey called Highlander Games, and they helped me a lot to build commander decks. Like these people would literally like yell at me when I was building my commander decks, but I appreciate it because I learned a lot. And they would always say, like, you have to, when you build your commander decks, and I've said this a ton on stream already, you have to build a deck that can play, you almost want to play as if your commander doesn't even exist, but your commander makes the deck better, not that your deck makes your commander better. Because if you play just completely around what the commander does, then like if I just remove your commander from the game consistently, well then you can't do anything. So like I think because you're just my suggestion, whatever it's worth, because you're milling your creatures, you know, what if you put Sheldred, the Whispering One, into the graveyard, right? What if you, just so you know what Sheldred is, I'm not too sure if you know what Sheldred is, so I'm just gonna pull up his card. But just for example, like, I mean, this is a $10 card, obviously. But Sheldred, you know, this card's a bomb, dude. This card, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature. I mean, and it just got reprinted too. So like, if you look at this over here, just going to the new Phyrexia version of this, and then taking the English out, you're looking at $7.90 for a copy of Sheldred, which is, I mean, I would buy it. I think I have like 5 copies of Sheldred, if I'm being honest. I would get a tattoo of that art style. I really would. I really like Sheldred. So it's, you said, I get that. The first time I played the deck, I was swinging so much, trying to get my creatures killed. I ended up winning just from damage without using him. Oh, okay. Yeah, we haven't looked at the creatures yet, so. Alright, we'll do that right now. So we got a Coiling Stalker. Okay, so we got some ninjutsu going on over here. Excavated Wall. Yo, Clay, you remember what decks you were playing against? Like, which commanders were you playing against in the game you were playing with Stickfingers? You have Excavated Wall. It's gonna mill a card. Yeah, dude, this deck seems really fun, man. Whenever we get to start doing the commander tournaments, the commander tournament live streams on the channel, I would invite you to play this commander deck on stream. It seems really fun. We have Highland Game. When this dies, you gain 2 life. Snarling Wolf. Gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. Activate only once each turn. A Spore Crawler. Dies, draw a card. Maze Behemoth. Okay. So if I'm looking at this, ooh, I like this. You sacrifice this to search your library for a basic forest, and you put it onto the battlefield. That's cool. Okay, you sacrifice this to draw a card. Okay. You have a Fang of Shigeki. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep. This is a cool include. This gives you the ability to sack creatures to make your commander stronger. Pestilent Wolf. Death Touch. This is a werewolf that just has vigilance. Dawnheart Rejuvenator. Low mana creatures to get into the graveyard. Okay. So your game plan is just to get cheap creatures on the board to then just attack or block just to get into the graveyard. That's like something, honestly, Clay, that's something like an experienced Magic player would do. Because if I look at your mana curve right now, like, look how many 2-drops you have. Dude, you have a lot of 2-drops. That's a lot. But like, that's something like an experienced Magic player would do. You always want to keep your mana curve really low, which helps you play the game. So like, you know, I may look at this and you got some creatures over here that may the most powerful thing, but like on turn 4 or turn 6, like you're playing 3 creatures in 1 turn, you know? What's good, Merrick? You may talk freely, yes. And then we have the Mind Leech Ghoul. Okay, lets you sack a creature. Causes people to discard, essentially. This one mills a Pontiff of Blight. We have a Piper of the Swarm, Weaver of Blossoms, Augmenter Pugilist, Bounding Wolf. That's just like a removal spell. Tattered Mummy. Shigeki. This is a good card. This puts cards from graveyard into your hand, and this also ramps you, essentially. And puts cards into your graveyard. Whenever attacks or blocks, sack a creature. Okay. Yeah, I mean, looking at these cards right here, Jaren. Oh, dude, you have an Avabrook Caretaker inside this deck, man. Yo, Clay, look at what Paul is typing right now, dude. Look at what he's saying in chat. The Yavimaya Elder, Sakura Tribe Elder are very good suggestions inside this deck. I would add that to the list of cards that would help. And they're generally cheap. Those cards you can usually find in pre-cons. But Avabrook Caretaker is... I don't have this card. I want this card. I want this card a lot. Maybe I'll get it in Japanese one day. So we have Plum the Forbidden, Tamio's Safekeeping, Tend the Pests, Sack a Creature, Fog. Dude, guys, I think Fogs are so good inside Commander. I've won a lot of Commander games because of there's a fog specifically called Moment's Peace that has flashback. Dude, you should just let me show you this actually because you're running a lot of stuff with the graveyard. Let me show you something. There's a card you could replace the fog with this card, and this card's probably like 10 cents. Yeah. Look, oh, it's $1. Oh no, 50 cents. Japanese, nah, they don't Japanese copy this. So yeah, this is just 2 mana. You prevent all combat damage, and then it has flashback. Remember, you're gonna be milling, so you could either just cast it from your graveyard at instant speed, or you get 2 uses out of it essentially, which I think is a really good way to play around fogs. This card is literally won me games of Commander. It's a good card. Okay, so we got the lands over here, 31 lands. Garrick's Uprising. Okay, give your commander trample. Does your commander have trample? No. Alright, so that's kind of necessary. This is necessary. You know, there's a card over here. Yeah, let me see. I think it's called Brawn. This is 31 cents. Grey Merchant of Asphodel could be a win con in this deck if you have a lot of black pips. Oh yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, Grey Merchant just kind of goes into every black deck. I think Grey Merchant's awesome. Magnus of the Will. Okay. Oh yeah, Magus of the Will. Oh yeah. That just casts spells from your graveyard. It's pretty cool. But we have Brawn over here. This says as long as Brawn is in your graveyard, creatures and you control a forest, creatures you control have trample. You're gonna have forests, okay? So essentially, like, you're gonna be milling anyway, Clay. So this will just automatically give all your creatures trample. No? Seems pretty good. Yo, but there's also a card here called the Rift Sweeper. So this says, when this enters the battlefield, choose target face-up exiled card. Oh, 1 card? I thought this brought back a lot of cards. Forget it. Forget the Rift Sweeper. But yeah, so there's also another card. It's 2 mana, it's green. Something Druid, Hermit Druid, I think it's called. Let me see. Yo, don't feel pressured to buy any of these cards, okay? I know that I don't know how much money all this is gonna cost you, okay? But just be relaxed about it. But we have Hermit Druid over here. You can tap Hermit Druid for a green, and then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a basic land card. Put that card into your hand, so you get a land, and then all of the other cards that you revealed go into your graveyard. So this is a card that literally just like pay for 2 mana, play, tap, and then you just flood your graveyard with just cards. This is in some play groups, this is like a GG card, man. This card is really good. And if we can find a Japanese copy of this, which we did not. Let's see if we can find a Japanese copy of this card. Oh no, this is $119. They reprinted this? Nah. Yeah, you're beat with this one. You gotta, it's $8.90. Yeah, exactly. Just save your money. Don't be like me and have 90 commander decks. Don't do it. So that's Hermit Druid. Okay. But yeah, so I would just take a look at the cards that you have. Honestly, if I'm being 100% honest with you, sorry, got cousins crushing me, so I've been buying a lot. Your cousins, yo, my cousins beat me in Commander too. I know the feeling. My cousin beat me with the blue mono blue serpent the last time I played against him. It's pretty intense. But yeah, so I would just suggest getting some of the cards that we suggested, and then finding creatures that just sacrifice themselves. Because you mentioned earlier in the text, you were like, oh, I'm hoping for someone to just, you know, I'll attack. If they don't block, I just want things to go into the graveyard. But also just like having the ability to just like, you know, playing like a sacrifice outlet. Got crushed by Coma. Dude, everybody. No, there's no shame in getting crushed by Coma, man. Everybody loses to Coma. Everybody does. But I was gonna say, because if you could find a way to sacrifice your creatures, like a sacrifice outlet, like a Viscera Seer, which is a 25-cent card. Like I'll type Viscera Seer in the chat, so that I think I spelled that wrong, if I'm honest. I think that but just having that there, you could go to attack with Stickfingers, and then at instant speed you can just sacrifice all of your creatures in order to just to buff your commander, essentially. You know, I'm gonna be able to attack. Okay, in response I'll sack all these creatures. Now my commander is a plus whatever, and you know, just kind of go from there. I think that would be cool. Yeah, I think Paul was talking about the mana earlier, and I think that I generally play 36 lands, but I think you want to put a ton of creatures into your graveyard. I would just, oh yeah, you do have an MDFC with a creature on here. Cool. What is that? Whenever creeping in attacks, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses X life. Yo, I've never seen that card in my life before. It's a mythic. But yeah, these are really good includes right here, Clay. This is a fun deck, dude. This is a really fun deck. Yeah, definitely copy everything Paul just pasted into chat right there, dude. But yeah, so I'm gonna give this a vote. I think this is a cool I'm not. This is not my deck. Am I not allowed to upload Alright, we're just gonna forget about uploading that. So yeah, that's Stickfingers. Clay, thank you for posting the deck list into the Discord. If somebody else is watching this and you would like your commander deck to be featured on stream, I'm gonna end up clipping this out and making this a separate video on the YouTube channel. So if you'd like your commander deck to be featured, if you have a funny commander deck or something, you can post that into the Discord. The Discord link is in the description below. And then we can basically just, you know, you gotta like, I get notifications on my Discord and people, you post a deck and people will literally just right then and there, just start giving suggestions. So everybody in the Discord is really calm and respectful, which I'm extremely grateful for. But definitely use them as a resource, and you can get a little shout out over here as well. I think it's just pretty fun. So what we do now for the stream, it is now a 3:20. We've been getting into the habit of reviewing commander games on YouTube. So I'm just gonna put one commander game on YouTube. Stream's been going on for about an hour and 12 minutes, which is roughly about the amount of time that we usually do these things for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and watch a game of Magic the Gathering on YouTube. And then once we're done watching the game, if at any point in time, you know, we're using this as a learning experience for new players so that we can teach new players how to play the game well. So last time we watched a Magic the Gathering game on the channel, we watched a YouTuber named BtGameNight, because he runs Commander tournaments, and I'll put the link to the video in the description. But we watched a Rabo against, it was a mill deck. So give me a moment here while I look for the deck, and then we can go from there. See a Rabo, oh, a Rabo and Bruvok. Okay, we found it. Okay. So today we're going to be watching Niv Mizzet and Rurik Thar, which I think is a great combination of creatures to be going against each other. These are games of 1v1 commander, by the way. So I'm going to click on this. Let me just pause that. Let me put this to HD. I'm going to turn the subtitles on just so that it's there. Let's full screen this. But yeah, here's the channel, everybody, just so you're aware. Let me actually just grab the link and put this in the description below. You know, every time we do a video or gameplay review, I always tell people I'm going to put the link into the chat right now for this video. Please, to show support and to say thank you for them for uploading this video. We always like the video, and I comment and say thank you. So thank you, exclamation point. So you can go over here, click on the link, go comment on this video. Please say thank you, Coach again, Coach sent me, Coach is here, just so that people get into the habit of knowing that we're like, you know, what's the word, rating their channel essentially. And I think we can make something positive out of it in the future for YouTubers that are new. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place this into the description really quickly. So if you're watching this in the future, just know that all the information is gonna be in the description below. This is a BtGameNight Channel. Okay, Lionel, what's going on, dude? Mr. Sanchez. Let's go. Let me see. Bro, I wanted to make a Lord Xander deck. Should I buy the precon? That actually sounds like a really intelligent idea, Lionel. That sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, why not, dude? Or Lionel, if you want, if you go on Amazon, you can pay like $20 for Coach Team. I like that. I never thought of that. You guys are so smart. So yeah, Lionel, I will tell you though, on Amazon you can buy lands, or on eBay or something for like $20, and you'll get like 300 lands. Just so you know. Just so if you want to build any, like I have 90 commander decks, unfortunately. Well, because God allows me to have 90 commander decks, but I have to buy lands in bulk in order for me to build all the commanders that I have. So I usually go on Amazon and I'll buy like a ton of lands, dude, like 500 lands at a time. So, but I get your perspective. So, but definitely buy the commander deck, dude. You get a bunch of really good cards from it. But Div Miz is a good commander. Oh yeah, dude, this is gonna be a fun game. The video, the music to these videos, I bug out over them too. So I'm just gonna mute our music here. I have to put the volume up. And listen, if at any point you were watching the video and you can't hear the video, let me know, and then I will increase or decrease the volume. Okay, but let's be respectful. I got a text message from work. All right, I'm playing the video. Let's go. Yo, everybody, if you're watching this right now, it's we got hey, put the volume up. Let's go. I really like these videos, guys, if I'm being honest with you.
Welcome to episode 165 VDH Commander Challenge. I'm your host, BT.
Let's go.
Now it's time for our second first round match of the EDHCC Patreon tournament. Last week, we saw Emma outlast Jimmy to become the first of our final four. This week, we have a first for the channel. As you know, not all our patrons live here in Canada. So what we do is we simply have one of our playgroup members play in their place, and they follow the patrons' deck list as much as possible. Now you may ask the question...
Right, we're just going to skip forward, but notice the bracket. Notice the bracket there. I just want to get to the decks here. So we have Rurik Thar. It's Rurik Thar and Niv Mizzet, okay? Who do you think is going to win? I honestly think that Rurik Thar is going to win. So I'm going to type Rurik Thar in the chat. Type into the chat who you think is going to win. I'm typing Rurik Thar. Let's see if in the future, I would imagine YouTube's going to let me like make polls or something. Now is the moment we would make a poll. So who do you think would win between Rurik Thar and Niv Mizzet? I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that. I'm going to hit play here, and then we'll go.
Llanowar Elves, Sakura Tribe Elder, Wood Elves, Gulta Primal Hunger, and his Groll-style general, Rurik Thar the Unbowed. He is Mr. Fetchland. This is Joshua.
Yo, Niv's a good card. If Rurik Thar wins, I'll build Rurik Thar.
Represented by the Perfectionist Phil.
Oh,
with an opening
the Perfectionist.
Hand of an island, Shivan Reef,
as foretold.
Foothills, Rewind, as foretold, Soul Ring, Mirror of the Forebears, and his Idiot-style general Niv Mizzet Perun. He is the new Lollipop Jam.
What?
This is Steve.
What does that even mean? What is that?
Steve's side when the dice were to start us off, so let's begin another first round card fight. For their first turns, Phil plays Wooded Foothills.
He said Lollipop Jam.
And sacks it, paying 1 life to grab a Steamed Vents from his deck into play untapped.
Okay, taking 2 damage.
Also causes him to take 2 more damage. Doing so allows him to cast a turn 1 Soul Ring.
Oh man.
Which he uses to cast Mirror of the Forebears, calling dragons for a strong first turn.
That is a strong first turn.
While Josh plays a forest and casts a turn 1 Llanowar Elves.
Equally powerful in my opinion.
Phil plays Shivan Reef and casts As Foretold, passing.
Dude, this card is so good.
Josh plays a tapped Spire Garden and casts Sakura Tribe Elder.
Okay.
He then sacks it right away to grab a tapped mountain from his deck into play before passing.
I'm gonna pause this. So if we notice right there, he played the Sakura Tribe Elder, which had the ability to be sacrificed to then put a land into play. I will tell people, like new players that are watching, it's generally more optimal to wait on your opponent's end step to then sacrifice the creature. Because essentially, what if his opponent plays a creature that can attack the moment it enters the battlefield, and now he doesn't have a creature to block? So it's always generally, you always want to wait to unless you can get something out of it right then in that moment. It's generally more optimal for you to wait to sacrifice a creature you have so that you can use it for other purposes in the future, as opposed to just sacking it right away.
Elder. He then sacks it right away to grab a tapped mountain from his deck into play before passing.
Also, notice the Metal Gear Solid playmat over here. I'm a fan of the Metal Gear Solid playmat.
During his upkeep, Phil gains his first time counter on his As Foretold. Then he plays an island and casts Arcane Signet and passes. Josh plays Nykthos Shrine to Nyx.
It's a good card.
And casts Wood Elves. But Phil casts Rewind to counter the spell, not wanting Josh to reach Rurik Thar mana just yet.
That's the first counter.
He
I would just counter Rurik Thar.
Lands thanks to his Rewind. Not to be denied, however, Josh casts Orcish Lumberjack and passes.
Okay.
During his upkeep, Phil gets his second time counter on his As Foretold. He then draws and passes.
Uh-oh.
Josh plays a forest and casts Vizier of the Menagerie.
Okay.
He then checks his top card and decides to cast it thanks to his Vizier's effect. The card in question, Priest of Titania.
Wow.
He then moves into combat and pokes Phil with his Lumberjack for 1 damage.
Oh man.
Before passing.
It's bringing the heat.
During his upkeep, Phil gains his third time counter on his As Foretold. Then he plays an island.
Gotta get Niv.
And casts Nexus of Fate.
Oh.
Gaining an extra
Oh
turn
man.
as the card shuffles back into his deck before he passes.
The 7-mana Explore.
During his extra upkeep, Phil gains his fourth time counter on his As Foretold. And thanks to that, he gets to cast Tandem Lookout for free this turn off its effect. This makes Josh visibly worried, as he's aware that if that card soul bonds with Niv Mizzet, and Josh takes even a single point of damage,
he wins the game.
It will trigger a draw damage loop that will wipe him out in a single turn. The pressure is on now.
Yes, it is.
As Phil passes.
Hey, yo, these videos are good.
Making his declaration to go all out now, Josh plays Fabled Passage and sacks it to grab a forest from his deck into play, which he gets to untap as he controls at least 4 lands. Then he casts Ghalta Primal Hunger for 6 mana as he had 6 power in play.
You gotta get like the T-Rex sound effect there.
Then he uses his Nykthos for 5 green and sacks a forest to his Lumberjack To help cast his general,
Oh
Rurik
man.
Card
Yo!
Unbowed.
That's so cool. The killer
Then he
instinct.
moves into combat and attacks with his Vizier. Phil declares no blocks and takes 3 damage before Josh passes. During his upkeep,
I think this guy may
Phil
win
gets
right
his
now.
5th time counter on his As Foretold. Sadly,
Isochron
he did
Scepter?
not draw land, but he says he will cast his general using a slightly painful and roundabout way. He starts by casting Isochron Scepter and choosing not to imprint anything on the card.
Interesting.
Why, you ask? Well, he uses his As Foretold's free spell to cast Unwind to counter his own Scepter. While Unwind is on the stack, he floats 3 mana, in this case blue, and thanks to Unwind's effect, gets to untap 3 lands. Also, we can't forget that Rurik Thar's effect was triggered twice, as 2 non-creature spells were played, dealing Phil a massive 12 damage. Ouch.
Wait, what?
Phil is now able to cast his general, Niv Mizzet Perune.
The red eyes.
Next, he soul bonds his 2 creatures, but can't win just yet, and realizes he has one small problem.
Can't draw.
He was intending on using his mirror to copy Niv and soul bond that with his lookout, and attack this turn to trigger the combo.
Yeah, we
But
got
he
a sack.
forgot that Rurik Thar has reach and can easily block his attack. So as a result, he's forced to pass.
Oh man, that's so clutch.
For Josh's turn,
Oh,
he
you have
plays
one turn right
Bluebound
now.
Craig and taps his priest for the mana need to cast the Great Henge. Phil states doesn't matter for the moment as
I think he
Josh has
loses.
no hand and thus no creatures to cast. But thanks to the Vizier's effect, Josh checks his top card and casts it, which
Still
turns
think he
out
loses.
to be Yeva, Nature's Herald.
Okay.
Thanks to the henge, Yeva gets a +1/+1 counter,
You draw a card.
and Josh gets to draw a card.
I think he
Checks
still
his
loses
top
here.
card again, and casts Birds of Paradise off his Vizier. The Birds gets a counter, and Josh gets a draw once again. Then he taps his henge to gain 2 life, and uses the mana towards his Nykthos for 11 green mana.
Oh man.
Along with tapping his last red mana, casts Xenagos, God of Revels.
Oh man.
It also gets a counter, and Josh gets to draw a card. Next up, Josh casts Bane of Progress.
Oh my. Oh
Who
wait.
also, thanks to the henge, gets a +1/+1 counter.
He's going
and
off.
Josh draws again.
That destroys all artifacts and enchantments.
Almost like draw. Monster Cardo. No, I'm kidding. Then the Bane's ETB triggers, destroying all artifacts and enchantments, well, except Xenagos because he's indestructible, giving the Bane 5 additional +1/+1 counters.
What do you do now though? 'Cause all he needs to
moves
do is
into
draw a
combat
card.
and uses Xenagos to double the attack of
Oh,
his
I think that's
Dalton,
it. I think he wins.
making it a 24/24 with trample,
Trample.
and proceeds to attack with all his creatures that are able to attack.
I think he wins.
Phil takes lethal damage.
Wow.
That, Josh advances to the semifinals.
Let's go. Yo. What a great game. Okay, so last time we were here watching one of these videos, we saw the Arabo match. Just so you guys know, this channel is called BtGameNight. You know, I put the link to this channel in the description below. You're more than welcome to subscribe and comment over here as well. And just to say thank you, Coach Team, #Coach, just so they know that we sent them over here. But they got a little tournament going on, so every now and then we do live streams. We're gonna come back over here to watch games to see who's gonna be the undisputed EDH Commander champion, which is pretty fun. But so thank you to BtGameNight. That was a great game. I think somebody in chat said that they were gonna buy. Clay was saying he's gonna buy Niv-Mizzet if they won, and he did not win. So I guess you are not buying Niv-Mizzet, Clay. But yeah, so that was a fun game. So let me go ahead and reduce this. All right. So at this point of the stream, we generally just kind of stop. I just want to thank everyone for being here today. You know, today was a good day. You know, if I'm also being honest, guys, while we're all here, I still haven't done the giveaway for the commander giveaway. So if you would like to give me a moment while I set up the wheel, I can set up the wheel right now and we can do the giveaway right now on stream for all of you guys to see. And then we can head out. In the future, what we're gonna do is I gotta get my Nintendo Switch set up on my PC. And then at this point during the stream, like I'll log in, play like Mario Kart. What's good, Game Shark? And we'll get a couple of other games in. So let me just, I got a lot of people in the Discord right now. Just be aware that let me see. If you type your giveaway in the Discord, you get 3 entries into the giveaway, just so you know. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Frondus? Oh, you guys are conversating. So I think we got everyone over here. Omega. We're just gonna copy. And then we'll go to Rivers. So let me just add everyone's names to the Discord. Just so everyone is aware, the giveaway, the card that we're doing right now for the giveaway is Asmarana Martica Destina Koldakar. So let me just go ahead and let me just go ahead and add the image to the stream so that you guys can see that. You know, this is why I'm not a good YouTuber, so I appreciate all of your patience while I get this set up. But we're gonna go ahead and drop this picture to cover my face completely, essentially. But this is the card we're giving away right now, just so everyone is aware. So, we're at Clayboy. So if anyone's here would like to enter the giveaway, just type, if you're new to the channel, you can join the Discord right now and type giveaway and you'll get 3 entries. If not, if you just type giveaway right now, I'll put your name in here one time. In fairness to all the people who I copied the word giveaway. In fairness to the people that did click on the Discord link and join, I will do that. I got Neil in here. Yeah, there's Neil. So we're just gonna copy. And then Butter. Am I missing anybody? Merrick. Merrick did not type giveaway. Omega, I got. Let me just make sure everyone's here. Okay, I think that's that. TCG dude, what's good, man? TCG dude, just so you know, brother, if you type in giveaway into the Discord, you get 3 entries. So I would highly suggest joining the Discord at some point, just so that you get multiple entries. Everybody's good? Yo, I'm not gonna do this until everyone in the chat is inside the giveaway. So just please let me know if you're there or not. If you're not there, just let me know so that I can add you, and then we go from there. Clay, you in? Yeah, Clay's in here. And then that's that. Paul, did I put your name in here yet, dude? No, I didn't. Hold up. Paul, I'm adding you to the giveaway, dude. Let's go. Paul. Is this gonna type? Oh no, I have to type it right here. Paul M. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I appreciate your honesty and giving other people a better chance to win. So look, we do giveaways on this channel. The giveaway for next week, just so everyone is aware, is this copy of Capenna, Slinking Sorcerer. If you would like to win this card next week, you are more than welcome to enter the Discord, type giveaway, so that next week, when we do the same thing, I think I'm just going to do these things live. I think this is pretty fun, instead of doing this on my own on Sundays. But just so that we can see who wins. In the future, as the channel grows, and if people like, comment, and subscribe to these videos, at some point, I would hope, like all the other content creators, they get sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. And then I'm going to ask to receive commander decks so that I can just give away commander decks during the giveaways consistently. And it'll be good. I think it'll be fun for everybody. So I'm going to give you guys 1 minute, okay? Just to make sure that everyone is inside the giveaway right now. If you're not in the giveaway, let me know. Type giveaway inside the chat. And then I can add your name. I'm giving you guys got about 40 seconds right now. And then we will go and see who wins. Let me just move this over here. But today's been a good day, everybody. I can't complain. We had a good stream. We'll get Mario Kart in stream at some point in the future. That'll be fun. All right, we got 10 seconds. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. Let's see who's winning this copy of Asmirana Martica Dacia Coldakar. Here we go. This is exciting. Let's see. Game Shark, let's go. Congratulations, Game Shark. Brother, you just won a copy of Asmirana Martica Dacia Coldakar. So just so people know, you can email me at coachgonzalezprofessional@gmail.com with the address as to where I'm sending the card. That way I can mail the card to you. Also, I'm going to pull 2 other names, just in case Game Shark is unable to receive the cards. It's just kind of a ritual that we do here. We always pull 3 names. So we got Game Shark. We got... Oh, wow. Rivers got beat, dude. Yo, Rivers. Good job, Clay. There you go. Clay got his name over there. Guys, I just want you to notice how close that was right there. Look how close that was, man. That was kind of intense. So, we're going to get a final name over here. Just for fun. It's going to be Kevin Carling. We share the same name. Nice. Okay, so those are the 3 names. If Game Shark does not get to me with a place to mail the card, then I will be messaging the other 2 winners in order to see if they would like for me to send them the copy of Asmirana Martica Dacia Coldakar. Okay? And just so you guys know, yeah, we do this every week. So listen, I hope you guys, if you're here up to this point, I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked the video, please remember to like the video. It just helps YouTube to take my channel. It'll take my channel and post it onto the really popular videos so that it's more likely for people to subscribe and be here, you know? I hope everybody had a nice day today. I hope everybody has an amazing day going forward. You know, whenever I end these streams or end these videos, I always say the same thing. Always remember to eat healthy or as healthy as you can, okay? Work out every single day, even if that means you do like one squat. You know, you could do, you know, when you exercise, your neurons fire first and then your muscles respond. So exercising is not so much building muscle as it is building neurological pathways. So just performing an exercise like 3 times a day, you know, you do three squats a day over the course of the year. That's 3 times 365 days. That's a lot of squats. So always keep that in mind. It's always about building the neurological pathways. That is what changes your body, not so much your muscles. And always remember to believe in yourself, all right? Yo, peace out, people. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys next time.